Mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer. Ladies and gentlemen, misfit minions, children of the night, moon children, how are we doing? It's Sunday night. It's late. It's Waffle House late for some of you guys. How is it? How is your Sunday? Every day is like Sunday. Share some greased tea with me. Chris Greenaway is first. Howdy, Chris. How are you doing, man? Mike N 32451 is in the chat. Howdy, Mike. 2X Jive Hive Jeffrey is in the chat. Howdy, Jeff. How's it going, brother? What am I missing, guys? How did the week treat you? Did anything happen? Anything life-changing? Anything good? GTI Warriors in the chat saying, lies! Lies! Howdy, brother. Mike Kent saying, man, Tony got a little hot there tonight. Yeah, I mean, he's probably speaking pretty passionately. I mean, in his last video, he's talking about idiocracy being a guide to the future, and it's really not far off at all. So I could see, he's probably speaking pretty passionately there. XJ David is in the chat. Howdy, David. How are you, man? Chris Greenway saying, got bronchitis, but at least it's only a cough now. Yeah, Chris, you're telling me you weren't feeling too hot. I'm feeling a little off myself. I don't know. I kind of was getting the Tom Waits voice earlier, so I've been drinking tea all day, and I'm feeling a little better. So that's something. Take what I can get, right? But what's everybody doing? What's new? I have not done anything even mildly productive for the past couple days. Mike N is saying, I really like the idea of Tony Tress driving a Tesla. I'd love to hear his opinions, how his opinions have changed, if at all, after the test drive. Yeah, Mike, I mean, that would be a kind of a fair way to go about it. But Tony's confessed that he would buy a Tesla before, you know what I mean, as a toy. It's just he doesn't see it as a solution. It's kind of a solution searching for a problem in reality. He doesn't see it as a feasible alternative to internal combustion engines. He just sees it as something else cool to drive, like his monkey bike or whatever it may be. GTI Warrior saying, what is Tom waiting for? John Goggins in the chat. Howdy, John. Dave Lewis is in the chat. How you doing, Dave? Mopar Man 1978. Fresh off his sacrilegious lasagna. New Guys Guitars in the chat. Howdy, brother. Miss Olive Drab is in the chat. Howdy, Olive. I'm sorry about the email debacle. I know my email address is stupid. Yeah, I've been a little bit off. I was getting the whole Tom Waits thing going. And a telephone call from Istanbul. Danny Boyd is in the chat. Uncle Corn Pop. Mopar Man saying that lasagna was yum, yum. Yum, yum, get you some. Mopar Man did one of Dano's recipes, and he did a lasagna with bricks of ramen noodles instead of just the flat lasagna noodles. And it seemed like a simple, cool recipe, but I've just been saying it's sacrilegious. I called it Luciferian lasagna. Olive saying, got your return email. It's probably me. Get that out to you soon. Thanks, Olive. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'll get you some cash or something. I don't know. I can't send my firstborn. He's too good. New Guys Guitars asking how you been. I've been all right, man. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of putting around over here. How about yourself? Anything cool? New Guys, my brother just ordered himself one of those Guild Starfires, the semi-hollow bodies. So I'm kind of excited for him. Chris Greenway saying, Mopar Man, give me a piece. Give me a piece. John Goggins saying, can I ask a technical question? Looking for some opinions and advice. John, I mean, you sure can. I might be of some help. I mean, it's kind of rare that I am, but just the same, I might be of some help. And if not, there's some definitely some qualified people here. Dean Stevenson's in the chat. Dino Spumoni. Did I miss? Cousin Mike is in the chat. Landon Custom Classics. How could I miss such a thing? Mike. Fresh off of working on Barrow's Garage's roof all day. Tavo Garage is in the chat. Howdy, Tavo. New Guy's Guitars saying, ooh, I want a hollow body. They're really not that expensive. I mean, I think they're Korean made, but it's a semi hollow body double cutaway guitar for like I think $600, which I don't know. I mean, that's about as much as I spent on my Gretsch, and the Gretsch has got that Bigsby on it, so you know how it is keeping that thing in tune. Mopar Man saying Chris Greenway did a 1 and 2 part video. Yeah, he did that on lasagna. Tavo, how's it going, man? You been feeling better? You guys guitar saying also want the salt. Yeah, the bug assault, man. I've been eyeballing those for a long time. All I'm saying, got her 1911. Seems pretty good. They're pretty nice, right? I mean, it's like, you know, it's not like some showpiece or nothing, but sure, it's a nice machine, right? I make these, they're 200 grain hard cast wad cutter bullets. I cast them myself, and I load them on 5 grains of unique, and it's just the easiest shooting, most accurate ammo. It's one of my favorites. Stephen Van Vliet is in the chat saying, I've been watching Uncle Tony for a while. What's the story here? You mentioned, you know, C10s. Stephen, yeah, I mean, I've been Uncle Tony's moderator for a long time, or one of them at least. I do an After the Tony show. It's kind of a joke. You know, people want to keep talking, so we're still here. And I drive around a C10 daily. Well, an Apache 10, technically, Stephen, but I know Chevys pretty well. I might be of some help. So I saw you were asking about how to get your C10 running, and you wanted Uncle Tony on the phone, which probably not so likely, but just the same, I might be of some help. But welcome, Stephen. Glad to have you, man. This is After the Tony. We mostly just discuss classic cars. We gripe about cats, different things. I always just mess with the title, like the propaganda edition I thought was fun, so I just added that. Olive saying need a decent spare mag, though, if anyone's got brand recommendations. That I would not know, Olive. Dougster is in the chat saying, have no fear. The Dougster is temporarily here. Hi, everyone. Bye, everyone. Doug's probably got work in a couple hours. Mike's saying, get the CO2 bug assault. I didn't even know that existed, Mike. And New Guy's Guitars saying, got a loop station pedal I've been messing around with. Those are fun, man. Peckerwood Customs is in the chat. Howdy, Aaron. Cousin Mike saying, shooting flies with a 1911 is hard on the house. Wasn't that The Simpsons where he's shooting a fly with a 12 gauge? John Goggins asking, okay, what dimensions or alignment measurements should I take before taking the upper and lower control arms off of my 68 Cougar shock tower car? John, I mean, I would just get the basic measurements off the inner and outer tie rods. And, I mean, honestly, if you're going to reassemble it, I would kind of bank on getting an alignment anyway, just to really straighten things up, unless it's perfect already, or you really don't want to pay for the alignment. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where you're going to be at. Just inner and outer tie rods, and then just keep track of any shims that may be there, and you should be pretty well off. Oh, so I got so much ammo with these. Tavo saying, chainmail wheels on a 74 Mercury Montego GT. Wire is kind of not up to Mexican spec. Dean's playing with our heads again. Chris Cadman is in the chat saying, I saw a car today that had 3 pedals. Does it have 2 brake pedals? If so, why? The 2 brake pedals, it's called a panic pedal, Chris. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Beckerwood saying, Dean, do you work, bro? He works for the CIA, Aaron. Jenny Boyd saying, John Goggin, I used to have a 68 Cougar myself. I think They use shim between the mounts and subframe rail. XJ David saying propaganda edition. I didn't notice that. Yeah, I just want to throw it in there. I had propaganda for breakfast, David, so I figured I'd make everybody else suffer. Cougar is original setup. Make sure I'm not missing. Literally, Cougar is original setup. Yeah. Yeah, John, I would just make sure to keep track of any shims and just take some basic measurements off the inner and outer tie rod ends, and you should be pretty good. But again, I would probably bank on getting alignment, especially if you're going to replace parts or maybe minor variants. And again, I don't know how you drive the car. If you're just cruising it around, you might get some weird tire wear or something. But I mean, the camber on my truck is horrible, and I'm like, I'm just going to buy a tire every year and a half, So I'm an ass of a man, but you should be able to do just fine like that. Aaron saying, right, back to work. Have fun, peeps. Thanks so much for stopping in, Aaron. Be safe at work, man. Don't lose any digits. We need you. Going into the friend. Tan van. Dean's confusing us all. Yeah, buddy. At Zero saying, I seen a cat. Who's this douche? At Zero, just me. I'm just over here teabagging. I even got a quote on my teabag here. It says, how strange that nature does not knock and yet does not intrude. How fucking profound. Excuse me. GTI Warriors, I'm going to buy a tire every year and a half after it blows on the freeway. You remember that one? I was hoping people wouldn't remember that one. That's your saying, can we have the cat back? Cat, you've been requested. Cat. El gato putísimo. I don't know. Mopar Man saying, was a nice day today. Was off on a Sunday for a change. Got the backing plates and shock plates for the 8 3/4 blasted and painted. Special U-bolts for the 8 3/4 show up Wednesday from Mancini. Badass, man. That doesn't sound like fun. Chris and Chris are talking about Canadian stuff that I don't understand. Cousin Mike's gonna finish Barrows' roof tomorrow. Nice, man. Yeah, you got to get it done before it gets snowed in, right? All of St. Kitty travels. Yeah, I try to throw something different on the thumbnail. If I have something automotive that I've been doing or something interesting, I throw that on there. But if I have a funny picture of the cat, you bet it's going on there. Danny Boyd saying, I left my hamburger in San Francisco after I digested it first. Dan, that's the way to do it. The streets of San Francisco actually flow with fecal matter. And if you can wade through the fecal matter, used hypodermics and prophylactics, you can actually see some very historical, beautiful places. Chris Green always saying that art last week. Brian, I forgot to text you back about that. Brian was saying he was an accidental pyro this weekend in a trash can. Dickie Farley's in the chat. Dickie, did I not greet you? Am I rude? I'm going to hell for that. I'm sorry, Dickie. How are you, man? Mike N saying the cover of Trout Mask Replica. Mike N, we just had a gentleman in here who's Stephen Van Vliet, and I think he might be related to Captain Beefheart. I don't know. He's just not telling us. Yeah, I don't know. Dean's linking a video to his reference to give us a little bit of a glimpse into his strange and cryptic language. Mike Ann, I'm not sure. I've never seen that name other than Van Vliet, because I think it's I forget what his full name was, but Van Vliet. Good old Captain Beefheart. Message held for review. Right, I'm saying as a dumbass moment. I was cutting up a metal umbrella pole with an angle grinder over a trash can with crap in it. The funniest part is the hose nozzle decided to take a crap. I thought you were saying that you had to actually use an extinguisher, Brian. Dan saying on the ragweed again. I just snotted up another napkin, sneezing harder than I ever have before. Ad Zero saying Mopar man, many years ago, job listing in San Francisco for picking up actual human crap, $110,000 a year. $100,000 a year for being a pooper scooper? I would have taken that. Dickie Farley, how are you doing, brother? How's it going? Stephen Van Vliet saying, just wrapped up a Quadrajet original intake manifold swap with an ABS 2/air gap. Just tried lighting her up, but she didn't crank long enough because I wasn't getting gas able to pump. We'll try tomorrow. Well, that sounds simple enough. You're just working out the kinks. I thought maybe the truck had been sitting for a long time, or if it was something really holding you up there. Steven, I almost punted my Quadrajet when I was putting it back together. That thing frustrated me. But I've got the Quadrajet and an old Offenhauser 360 intake on my truck. Steven saying no relation to Beefheart. I've been asked before. I'm an ass man, excuse me. Mopar man saying need a good fire hose to wash the filth off the streets. Mike N saying wrong answer, Steven. You could have been a legend here. Steven, it's just we were talking about Captain Beefheart, I think last live stream I had, so. Steven, that's a good upgrade though. The ABS 2 and then the air gap will probably get you a couple extra horses for sure. Yeah, of course, man. Really glad you stopped in, Steven. It's I mean, like I said, I didn't know if you're having that much trouble with the car. You never know what's going on with them. Sometimes they'll throw you for a loop, but just the same. And also, Steven, Tony does a tech talk with Kiwi of Kiwi Customs and Classics he's doing it Wednesday night now. It used to be on Thursdays, but he's doing it Wednesday. And that's a really good time just to ask tech questions, talk shop, and everything else. And those two have some really good answers. Also, people in here, you know what I mean? We've got a lot of really experienced people in this chat, more so than myself. So it's a good place to bounce stuff off of people at the very least. Danny Boyd saying, "I'm the god of whatever mechanical contrivance is in my hands." Chris Cadman saying, Ari, just got a drone. It won't come back to me. Any advice? You lucked out, man. I was just watching, because I get like weird military shorts sometimes, and there's this thing called the Slinger. And it shoots like incendiary fragmentation shells it's meant to take out drones. And it only weighs 800 pounds, so its intention is to be put in the back of a pickup truck. So I think if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, I might have to get a Slinger for the Apache. Chris Greenaway is saying I'm going to be nice and happy a week of wet storage of my gravel driveway with my carport. Great. Steven's saying, sweet, we'll tune in, like you said. Just working out the kinks. A solid 350. Glad to hear I'm amongst C10 owners. Yeah, Steven, they're my favorite, absolute favorite trucks. I deal with mostly just most recently just 60 to 62 C10s, but, it's all the same shit. Plus the drivetrain that's in my truck now, well, the engine is from an 84 K5 Blazer. I've got an SM420 trans and a drive shaft from a 62 pickup. I just hodgepodged it together, so, I'm seeing looks as if, I'm looking at the Avatar. All I can see is it a 68 or is it a 70, Steven, that you drive? Well, poor man saying also to give someone a hand is physically impossible unless it's been lopped off. Olive saying, Ari, how about one of those tennis ball launching machines for your anti-drone purposes? Or for your anti-drone duty. Could be multi-purpose that way. 72. What a great year, Steven. I've never worked on a 72 C10, but I've worked on a couple 72 Blazers. And, this is only slight differences here. My joke, Steve, I'm always calling those trucks fancy, because you got the actual door panels, inner door panels and whatnot. Compared to my steel coffin of a truck, At Zero saying, I just seen an ad for the new season of Basketball Wives. Nothing, absolutely nothing could be less important to the world. I can't disagree. He's making a very valid point there. Mopar Man saying we had a Fletch movie marathon. How was it? Steven saying cold beer in the fridge whenever you want to come help out. Man, I would be stoked. That's I've been joking around about that for the past couple weeks. Just, I don't know much, but, I know my way around the C10s. One of the guys who stops into the live stream a lot is Hubie's Garage, and he's a Tri-5 guy, and he's very mechanical, more so than Tri-5, small engines, everything else. But his neighbor actually had me working on their 61 pickup. I did a short about it today. It was just a real kind of glimpse of the truck and me BSing on a voiceover, but yeah, I did a little bit of tune-up work on the 61, and it's running well. I just spoke to the owners, and apparently, people have been coming by and checking it out, and they're happy about how good it sounds, how well it's running, which, it was already a pretty decently maintained truck. All I had to do was the bare minimum, and it was back to where it should be. Steven saying, disagree. My wife watches Selling Sunset on TV. That's why I hang out in the garage. I feel your pain, Steven. My lady's she'll watch that My 500-Pound Life show. I think is what it's called, My 500-Pound Life. I'm gonna boil some water real fast, make another cup of tea. 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. That on. All right. Yeah, the My 500-Pound Life show, or 600-pound, is it My 600-Pound Life? Some ridiculous amount of weight. And I had never really enjoyed the show until one moment this lady who weighed about 500 something pounds was saying that she's a very picky eater. And the Dr. Now or whatever, said you can't be, in his funny little voice, he's like, you can't be 600 pounds and be the picky eater. Pretty classic. All is saying, yeah, Zero, but if I shoot down a drone, I want more slapstick. Maybe there's a shotgun shell that expands into a tennis ball. GTI Warriors talking about the tennis ball with the match heads. Magnaflows or Flowmasters. I've never used either. Brian M saying, damn it, are you trying to give me flashbacks to my former life with 500-pound life? Did you used to be bigger, Brian? I mean, I'm not judging anybody's lifestyle or body shape or anything, but that show is trash. Chris Captain, oh, he's gone. Yeah. Party. Net guns are best for drones. This is not drone advice. Mopar Man saying, Chris Greenaway, check out the Pipes Turbo Pros. They have YouTube videos. Mopar Man, didn't you you bought some cherry bombs, right? The Vortex? I want the M80s really bad. GTA Warrior saying 600 pounder picks all the food. Yeah, you pretty much. I mean, it's like, well, I mean, you never know. It's probably like I only eat an extreme excess of 3 things. Brian M saying I'm talking about the women who I worked with at Jack in the Box. Oh, and I didn't know, Brian. I didn't know. Maybe you had some extreme weight loss experience. I didn't know you back then, man. Ryan Earl's in the chat saying, "Sing, maybe lock them doors, and turn the light." Oh, that's that song. I don't have the drawl, man. Alva's in the chat. Howdy, Al. How are you? 2 seconds, guys. My water boiled. Entertain yourselves. That's probably more entertaining than me. In honesty. In honesty. Very boring, man. Boring, man. Enter the life of Ari de Bernia, a boring man who pilots a 63-year-old truck. My tea going. Ryan Earl saying W, 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 W. He wants me to sing. Ryan Earl wants me to sing "Lock the Door and Turn the Lights Down Low." That fucking that song. W, W, W. Alva, how you doing, man? Dave Lewis is saying Spintech mufflers. I trust Dave. Dave Lewis knows more than me. A lot more than me. Huey Dean. W409. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. Get some Conway, just bring some tears to my eyes. Yeah, I'm trying to drink some tea because I get all Tom Waits when I'm feeling like this. You know, my throat's messed up and I'm waiting for it to turn into me being like, so. John Hudson saying that was a weird place to come in. I'm sorry, man. Welcome, John. How are you doing, brother? I mean, you could have come in at any time. It would have been weird, John. It's it's just my live stream. It's gonna be weird, I guess. Gonna get weirder. Poor John's coming into Conway. I need to do that hair, the big like hairspray Conway hair. Carmudgeon saying part store glass packs. I mean, yeah. Ari, sing that one. She got better in the dark. And next up we have Ari DeBernia with his new country hit. Put that son bitch and son bitcher on that son bitch and son bitch over there. Colleen Tebow's in the chat. Howdy, Colleen. How are you? Alva's saying Super 10s lost their patent. You can't find knockoffs cheap. Alva was the one suggesting the M80s to me. And I feel like it's probably kind of funny, but I mean, because I've driven such crappy cars, if the engine's too quiet, I feel like I stalled. I'm like, my mind is like, did you stall? Like, every time. Tabo Garage is saying, Ari, your Hemi 6 for the Dart is all zipped up with a stash of spare parts. Come collect it anytime you're ready. Tabo, I would love to come down under, hang out, man. Work on some Hemi stuff with you. I'll bring you a slant 6. How about that? I'll trade you. It's a pretty nice slant six, Tabo. I mean, it's not your average slant six. Mopar Man saying another great muffler is coffin mufflers. GTI Warrior saying peppermint tea with honey is the best thing I've found for the voice. I'll try it, man. I've got that the echinacea tea with that licorice root. It's got Emily Dickinson quotes on the tea bags. Let's see, what is this one? That was the same one I read. Are flowers not the stars of the earth? These are horrible. XJ David saying, I'm getting old. I like quiet mufflers. They're nice, David. I mean, it's definitely smooth and everything. My brain convinces myself that I've that I've stalled if I don't hear enough. You can sure I didn't miss anything. Colleen's cold. It's 57 degrees. I feel you there, Colleen. Buff Del Campo is in the chat saying, I'm here, but I was on the phone. Howdy, Buff. How are you, man? Now I'm engaged with the live. Glad to have you, Buff. How are you? Anything cool happen? Anything life-changing? Any revelations of sorts? Mike Ensign, wow, touching. Yeah, it's a really... I don't know what that's about, Mike. I'm like... John Hudson saying, you a singer, bro? No. I'm a sad man, John. No, I used to sing, John. I don't really anymore. I've had requests to sing songs on YouTube, but I don't really have a guitar around anymore, so I can't keep rhythm, and I'll kind of lose pitch unless I have something to sing to. But I used to sing, John. Olive saying, all this time in the South made me like an old lady with about slightly chilly air. Carmudgeon saying, Southern Comfort tastes like cough syrup anyway. I'd tell you what, I wouldn't say no to something like that. Some mezcal or something. Tabo's saying, slant sixes are used for boat anchors down here. Actually, it's kind of, I want to get one of my next tattoos. I want to get a tattoo of an anchor that just says Power Glide and the banner under it. Add zero. I don't think I'm allowed to say the W word on here, Add Zero. Add Zero is a Roger Allen Wade song. She's a gone back to Horry. That's a good song. You can't say the word whore anymore though, Add Zero. They're called sex workers. They have like hairnets and a conveyor belt of dicks. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. 3 people left because of that. Halima Rue is in the chat. Welcome. Mike Insane sing off between Ari and a guy from Maple Motors. I'm unenlightened. Buff Del Campo saying, just fixed the oxidized headlights on my Mazda. Made a video of the quick process. Cousin Mike saying, John, Ari has some pipes. Mike, that's going to lead to a joke, isn't it? Brian M saying, what Ari really needs is some moonshine. Nice Aperol spritz, maybe. John Hudson saying, just found the latest Forged in Fire. Have a good week, all. Thanks so much for stopping in, John. You have a great week as well, brother. Check your fluids. Chris Cabman saying, Art puts the cable from the amps in the box and waits for the man to get it back out of the bar. Yeah. Lazy A-Hole Ranch is in the chat. Sorry, Allie. Of course, that's what you'd pop into. That's what I hear the term sex worker, and that's what I think. Like it makes it sound like some sad hairnet labor job. It takes all the glamour out of it. It really does. Tricky NNP. Well, I got a lot of experience watching paint dry, so potentially inappropriate comment. Oh dear. Vernacular is bitches and hoes. Lazy A-hole Ranch is in the chat, working in the background. Lazy A, how's it been over there? Anything cool happen? Justin Hill is in the chat. Monkey Monday saying you have committed the crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense? ZZKs and TTS ASMR channels in the chat saying I'm new here. Welcome. Welcome. I guess I've committed crimes against Skyrim. You know, I've never played Skyrim. I'm sorry. I'm unenlightened. Cousin Mike saying that's why Ari's throat hurts. I was waiting for it, Mike. I was waiting for it. He's saying just sometimes got to crack up at your shenanigans. Nothing exciting, just working, watching Mike wrenching. Yeah, he's always got his hands full, huh? And then that Subaru was giving you guys kind of giving you guys hell, wasn't it? ZZKs and TTS ASMR channel saying, bam. Welcome. Glad to have you in the chat. I don't do any ASMR, but a lot of people enjoy it, so that's cool. Jasper Boy 35 saying gay. That's gay. Boy. Jasper Boy 35. What you saying, boy? GTI Warrior saying bad words. Guess you don't have enough mods. Need help. What I miss? What's this one? Got it. View. You're gay. Jasper, you gotta, you're gay. Beats you are. You gotta use the apostrophe. I don't know. Am I gay? Have I been gay? I really did like Ziggy Stardust. That album was just, and Hunky Dory. Jasper was saying, I kid you. Welcome, brother. It's all good. Danny Boyd saying, Ricky, where's the glamour? Olive saying, you missed your moment, Jasper. Is my name too long? Should I change it? I mean, that's completely up to you. A shorter name might be a little bit easier. A lot of folks on YouTube got the short attention span. I have that trouble with my name because it's so long and foreign. Jasper Boy is saying, don't judge me. No judgment. Welcome, please. I put my face on the internet. That is your right to call my face gay. GTI Warrior saying he meant you're gay. He's Eastern European. Mike N saying, I like Queen. Lazy A saying, too late. You've been judged. Now we're talking about GTO judges. Cousin Mike saying, Ali. Alva's saying, short names are overrated. Yeah, you got one less letter than me, Al. I've been here for 5 minutes and I'm liking it. I'm glad. It's just a boring Sunday night chat. It's just me. We usually talk about cars, whatever modern culture is, whatever's kind of bothering us. The first time being recognized. I try my best to acknowledge the chat. That's pretty much the entire stream is just the chat. I don't keep any real specific subject matter. I don't address anything. I just try to make sure to ask people what's going on during their week. Sometimes I'll complain about specific petty things that have bothered me during the week, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. Chris is asking, how are those tea bags? They're excellent, Chris. They've got quotes. Mike N. saying tea, Earl Grey, hot. Tavo Garage is saying Sunday night. It's Monday afternoon. I forget about that, Tavo. Kiwi Dean's got a whole different... LP94 is in the chat. Howdy, Lars. John Goggins saying war sucks. And they're mongering the hell out of it lately. John, you notice that? ZZKs and TTS ASMR channel saying you earned yourself a subscriber. I appreciate it, man. I hope the channel's not too boring. It's mostly just me and my old truck. I'll do live streams and talk with everybody. That's as far as I go. Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans is in the chat. Damien, how are you, brother? Laws. It's Columbus Day Eve. Yeah, they went and did that. I didn't realize that my birthday is actually Indigenous Peoples Day. It's kind of messed up. Danny Boyd saying this tea bag represents Henry David Thoreau's balls. Emily Dickinson. Brittany Williams is in the chat. Welcome, Brittany. How are you? My favorite BMW. It's hard to choose. I don't know if I have a favorite BMW car. I just really like their inline six engine. I forget the displacement. I think it's just a 3-liter. But I love BMW inline sixes, especially with custom exhaust. They sound really healthy. Mopar Man saying, seen a new Smudge the Cat meme. Juan, why do you call me Penny? Smudge says, you're two-faced, worthless, and everyone in everyone's pants. Mopar Man. Mike N saying, you should sue someone. I don't know who. GTI Warrior saying, you were born here. You're indigenous. Yeah, I guess so, man. Who else? I greeted Brittany, making sure to know. No, I didn't miss it. I didn't miss anything for once. Mopar Man saying Columbus Day sounds better. Yeah, but it's like you can't. Are we even allowed to say Columbus Day anymore? Lazy A-hole Ranch is saying, why do you have a tampon hanging out of a cup? It's a voodoo thing, Allie. It's a voodoo thing. Heather Calvert's in the chat. Howdy, Heather. Welcome to the chat. Danny Boyd saying, I'm about 1% feral. Now I'm all self-conscious about my tea, Allie. Thank you. Saying wine addiction? Oh, man. This has all gone too far. This is what I get for going on the internet. That's just dots and stuff. Damn, that's the GTI Warrior saying Iranian voodoo. That's a new one. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, it kind of means something to be Iranian again, doesn't it? Bad Tree Productions is in the chat saying, heathens, assemble. What's going on, Blake? How are you, brother? How's it going, man? Another Sunday night. My Waffle House, like John says. Blake saying, love System of a Down. I don't listen to System of a Down. I don't. Yeah. Oh, man. Arwen Vlogs is in the chat. Howdy, Arwen. Welcome. How are you? 3 dorks down. Yeah. Justin Hill saying, this is too much stuff for my ears. I'm sorry, man. Mike N saying he's Armenian. Yeah, I think the lead singer, what's his name? He's got some quirky name. He's Armenian. Arwen saying typhoon here in Hong Kong. That doesn't sound like fun. Is it flood bad or is it just a lot of heavy rain? Chris Cadman saying Ari likes show tunes. I love show tunes. Like Cousin Mike saying Arwen prayers. Yeah, I hope everything's all right over there. I know the Philippines and that part of the world, they get a lot of typhoons like that, monsoons, what have you. Hear the wind beneath my wings. Oh, man. Nafi Islam is back in the chat. Welcome back. Glad to see you. Queen Landon. Roman Holiday. Danny Boyd saying a GMC Typhoon with the monsoon stereo. Nafi Islam saying thanks. Glad to have it. Nafi, did you find anything that anything to work on out there? Or are you still trying to get? Last time we spoke, you said you were trying to get into some mechanics or engineering or something of the like. You get any closer to your goal? Arwen saying, Ari, playing your video for your watch hour. Thanks so much, Arwen. I appreciate it. I'm getting a little closer on my watch hours, and I've been trying to do more live streams and everything else. It's kind of difficult for me because I'm, lost, but just the same. Again, saying good show tunes. Nate Mayfield is in the chat. Howdy, Nate. How are you, brother? Cousin Mike's saying, Arwen, thank you, my dear friend. Meaning Fossils, U.S. City. Nafi Islam saying, can I get work with any automobile engineering? JT is in the chat saying, hey. Welcome, JT. Glad to have you in the chat. Chris Greenaway saying, Ari, do you pay Steve Carell to borrow his office space from The Office? It's pretty opaque in here, huh? I should probably do a green screen. Lazy Hayes saying, all who wander are not lost, Ari. Justin Hill saying, how's your weather, Ari? It was warm, man. The last couple days have been 80-something degrees. R.E. Olds. R.E. Olds. Yeah, no, the office is solid just because it's pretty quiet over here. Unless there's like a wedding or something, or unless the neighbor comes through and he's yelling in Farsi, it's generally pretty quiet. There's internet. That's kind of all you need, I guess. Cousin Mike's making a point here. He's saying to buy soap from Lazy A-Hole Ranch. That's Lazy A-Hole Ranch. You can use this soap to wash your hands after working on cars. Bad Tree Production saying it's Speedwagon the third. Blake, have you been working on the Death Pumpkin at all, or are you taking a brief hiatus after the race? Mike Gant saying, wow, it was low 60s today on the Gulf Coast. I'm jealous, Mike. It was warm. I wake up and it's overcast and it's about 60-some degrees. Jasper Boy 35 saying, sub. Thanks, brother. Best car movie, Christine Changed My Mind. Buff Del Campo saying, Ari Olds was born in Geneva, Ohio, where I used to live. The town is now the Napa store. Oh, the house is now the Napa store. Excuse me. That's pretty rad. Rebecca Reeder's in the chat saying, hello, I'm here. My name is Isnara, and I'm 8 years old. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. I'm probably very boring. I apologize, but we're glad to have you. GTI Warrior saying, is Farsi like Arabic? Even when they're in a good mood, they sound pissed. Exactly. They always sound like they're arguing. The Blake saying in the second, getting ready for winter. That's right. You're going to be all snowed in. It's not all cornfields. It's like sad whiteness. That'll be cool. I'm sure you'll get a lot of stuff done. Yeah. You know how it is over here. People are still racing, so it doesn't end. At least it's probably the only good thing about this place. But sage and cedar, Mike's talking about 70 here. Justin Hill says that's not bad. Danny Boyd saying in 9th grade in 1981, they announced over the school PA And so and so had won tickets to the Rio Speedwagon. Oh man. Well, poor man saying if I had to hear that call to prayer 5 times a day, I'd be snipping the speaker wire. Cousin Mike saying Allie makes awesome soap, which is true. If you guys like custom, well, custom. If you guys like handmade soap, hand milled soap, check out Lazy A Hole Ranch. If Allie, if you want to drop a link, if someone else can drop a link, um, please check it out. She's got some great stuff, natural scent. She's got a great mechanic soap that really works well. I used it next to the Snap-on Nitro Gold, and it took the stuff off my hands just as well, and it did not make my hands peel because it's natural. It smells good. It is absolutely beautiful. Each bar is unique. Buy it. Your life will be better. I say, would you rather watch a tree grow? I want to watch the tree grow, man. British Smurf Cat saying, we live, we love, we lie. No, what is it? We sleep, they live. Nafi Islam saying, how many car machines in here? I mean, there's a few machinists, a few mechanics, a lot of hobbyists. Blake is a straight up drag racer. He kind of does a little bit of everything. Blake saying, wish the earth would tilt just a little so we'd have nicer weather. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, man, because, you guys were cruising. You did that live stream where you're cruising around town, and it just looked so chill, like good, solid weather and everything else. I mean, it's probably cooling down already because it's autumn and you actually get seasons there, but it seems like, the non-frozen season is pretty beautiful over there, honestly, man. Lava soap. Way better than lava soap, says Lazy A. She just linked the website, her store, Lazy A Whole Ranch Soap. Check it out, please. Buy something. Do it. Like I said, you won't regret it. You'll enjoy the soap. It'll be that brief moment of your day where, you can kind of forsake the thought of homicide and just, wash your hands. Dan saying I've showered with lava soap a few times and it wasn't bad. What a poor SOB I was. Dan, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? Arwen Vlogs is saying, listening to host, working now. Thank you. Thank you, Arwen. Very glad to have you in the chat. Alva is saying, Paper Saint Soap Company. Lazy A saying, smell like oranges. It smells like oranges. Yes, the citrus smell of the mechanic soap is very, very pleasant. Again, you know what I mean? It'll kind of quiet down the voices in your head long enough for you to appreciate a moment of sanctity with this beautiful natural soap and get your hands clean. Maybe get your mind clean too. A little bit of that. John Coggins saying the first rule after the Tony is. Buff Del Campo saying Tide will take grease out of hair. Buff, when I used to use a lot of oil-based grease in my hair, I would go half Dawn dish soap and half vegetable oil. For some reason, that would get the wax out of my hair. Mopar Man saying I use a Duke Cannon Smokewood whiskey barrel scented brick of soap. They got some cool stuff. They got that bergamot one that's alright. It kind of smells like Play-Doh, though. Allie's soap is natural. It's handmade. It's milled. You know what I mean? You're going to get different suds. There's different essential oils in them as well as just base oils. Some of them are glycerin-based, too. I don't want to get too far into this because it's been a while since I was soaping, but they're very unique. Aunt D is in the chat. Welcome, brother. Danny Boyd saying in 4th grade they had 50s day at school and my friend was as Fonzie. He used Vaseline in his hair. Yeah, it takes a long time to get that out, man. That's basically what Murray's is. It's like petroleum jelly and a little bit of paraffin, I think. Danny Boyd saying we got bergamot in the garden here, or did? Oh, it smells damn good. Blake saying Dawn dish soap. Yeah, I used to Blake when I in my deep greaser phase, when I would actually use the sticks of hair wax. That was the only way to like purge my hair. I would have to get a palm full of Dawn and then like dump some cheap vegetable oil and like do that 2 or 3 times, and it would eventually be to where my hair wasn't a solid piece of wax. You can tell where you're saying if it's been a while since you were soaping, you should really take a shower. Blake's saying been using Dawn for everything. Pretty good stuff. I missed someone in here. I missed Jason's Garage popped in and he said, "What's up?" And I didn't say what's up to him. I'm sorry, Jason's Garage. I'm losing my mind. Mopar's Mustangs and minivan saying, "Lazy, my hands are wrecked with dryness. What's your recommendation I should buy?" Mopar's Mustangs and minivans. I would try something with lanolin for your hands, and then a natural soap like Allie sells. It'll help a lot, because I used to use that Nitro Gold, the Snap-on Nitro Gold a bunch, and my hands would peel like hell. It was gross. Nate Mayfield saying, or if you're on a budget, Ajax. Nate Mayfield, did you end up getting that brake situation sorted out, or have you not had a chance yet? Chris Cadman saying, shower? What is this shower thing? Dad Tree Production saying, Hippie said that's just crazy, Dean. Yeah, he doesn't believe in them damn hippies with their free love and their free internet. That triple pickle car is like a damn hippie love in. That's why it's got that extra back seat. That car is looking badass, though. Very seriously. Dave Lewis is saying, lava soap and a cold garden hose shower in the shop sucks. Yeah, Dave, but it's better than that like itch you get on the neck from too much, like, you know, the metal dust and the grease kind of like sticks here. Nate Mayfield saying, no luck yet. Been too busy working lately. Hopefully soon. Oh, you'll get it, man. Just the same. You know, if you're busy, you're busy. I wish I could lend a hand, but I'm a little far off. All of a sudden, I actually tend to get all the fancy stuff my friends don't like. Cousin Mike, what did Cousin Mike say? Veteran charities only pad the pockets of lowlives. It would be cool if charities were more direct, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause I think that, you know, the concept is really rad. You know, you throw some cash to charity, you run a fundraising event or something, but a lot of it always gets pocketed. A lot of it goes to BS. But the veterans charities I like a bunch. The PTSD charities. Yeah, I mean, you know, the women's shelters, stuff like that. I feel like they could use a couple extra bucks. If I had more pull on YouTube, I would try to do something like that. But I don't, you know, no one cares about me. Probably because I sit in a white office and run my mouth. Lazy A-Hole Ranch is saying, if you like lava soap, just look up charcoal soap. You'll like it more. Doesn't matter who makes it. It just works better. It does matter who makes it. If Allie makes it, it's better. Lazy A-Hole Ranch. For the discerning, soap-loving a-hole. Danny Boyd saying, anybody remember L.M. Boyd, newspaper columnist? He said to keep a bar of soap under your car seat for a few months just to make the car smell good. Then when you use the soap in the shower, it'll last? I'm unenlightened. Cousin Mike saying, GTI, there are a few. Fisher House is a good one. They house veterans while getting treatment. That's rad. Buff Del Campo saying 90 weight brake fluid and antifreeze. That's what I get to clean out of my hair. Yeah, it really does suck. Nafi Islam's asking, how can I get chance best country us building of automobile? Nafi Islam, I was kind of thinking about it. There's a lot of those worldwide companies that subcontract to automakers. You could try one of those. Some of them are German, some of them are Swedish. Rich GT350R is stocking. He's saying Cornhuskers lotion's been around for a long time. My grandma used to keep a bottle of that by the sink. Cousin Mike saying Wounded Warrior Foundation is one of the worst. Warhawk service dogs. I'm unenlightened. I should be writing this down. Lazy A saying that sad Wounded Warrior used to be a good charity. Nafi Islam saying, what about Germany? Yeah, there's a lot of German companies that subcontract to different American and all kinds of automakers, and you can get a job with them and maybe be relocated or something like that. And D saying, for every good charity, it seems like there's 20 that are for profit. Definitely. Irvin Vargas Montalvo is in the chat. Welcome, Irvin. Cousin Mike saying, my dad has stayed at Fisher House and they even give you gift cards to get free food. That's cool. It's kind of a bummer that, veterans, first responders, they deal with a lot of crap, and there's not a lot of, support out there or even mild understanding of what they got to go through just to earn a dollar. How's Rich doing? How's the Mustang, Rich? Chris Cadman saying, imagine reaching under the seat and you end up pulling out a bar of soap. Now, hold on, let me try again. Sand Mountain Ballistics is in the chat. Howdy, Hunter. How are you, man? What's going down? Lazy A, that was. Oh, man. Hunter saying, I'm good. Ari, yourself? I'm doing well, man. Hexel saying, one's got a pencil stabbed into my arm. I'm sorry to hear about that. That's no good. Si es cierto que hablo español. I really don't speak too much Spanish, Urban. Normally, we have a couple folks that translate a little bit for me, but I don't speak much. I speak enough to order at the Lonchera. That's about as far as I go, Urban. Hexel, he's just asking if anybody here speaks Spanish. Cousin Mike saying, Brian, it's sad how greedy people are. That's for sure. Alva saying, the soap looks good. I got a bar of black liquor soap once. I still got it. Aunt D saying, a bar of soap would be the cleanest thing I've ever heard under the seat of a car. Yeah, pretty much. It's always cigarette butts and like sad things. Ed Zero saying, I've got restaurant Spanish down. Oh, saying Mex is the best at it, but I haven't seen him tonight. I can understand some Spanish. He might be working, Olive. He was talking about trying to get a bug. He's been doing, or a Beetle. He's been doing his best to buy a Volkswagen Beetle. He's saying sticky pennies. Yeah, old candy, sticky pennies, wrappers, cigarette butts, old toothpicks. The old toothpicks are a little treacherous. They'll get you. Little treacherous. I'm out of tea. It's a sad day in Floyd County. GTI Warrior saying 10-year-old French fries. Yeah, fossilized French fries. Oh, Barman saying Cornhuskers lotions right next to a bottle of right next to a bottle of Old Harper. Herman Vargas Montalvo saying una vez tuvo 5 años. I need to learn more Spanish. I really do, especially where I'm at. I'm closer to Mexico than even other states. Dean, I got a Husker Du cassette. Francine Ramos is in the chat. Howdy, Francine. Welcome. Glad to have you in the chat. We are talking about soap and things that you find under the car seats of classic cars. Jose A is in the chat. Welcome, Jose. There's Cadman saying bonjour. Olive saying Husker Du can be great snow drifting music. Francine Ramos is saying I subscribe. Thank you, Francine. I hope the channel's not too boring. It's mostly just me cruising around my truck. If I see anything cool, classic, mechanical, ironic, I try to record that, but it's not the most it's not the most entertaining channel. Francine Ramos is saying, are you posting every day? Not every day. I try to post at least a couple times a week. If I have something interesting going on, I'll post every day, or I'll do a few shorts a week. I have a couple videos that I need to do, and I generally do 1 to 2 live streams a week, generally late on a Sunday night like this. John Goggins saying, English tea, Chinese tea, Japanese tea. Is there any tea associated with the Middle East? Yeah, actually, I have some. I think it's kind of like it's closer to an Earl Grey, but less citrusy. It's I'm trying to think of the name for it here. It's a red tea. But yeah, they have Persian and Arabic teas. Cardamom tea. Thank you, Lazy A. She knows more about my culture than me. Yeah, it's like a red tea with cardamom. It's pretty good, actually. Una vez casa mi muero ahogado con un dorito. Francine Ramos is saying, "Are you in an Airbnb?" No. This is my office, Francine. It's just really opaque and boring. Sometimes I'll do live streams from my truck, but it's pretty dark outside right now, and you'd like barely be able to see my face. It doesn't make for the greatest scenery. But I come to this office. It's boring and white, but it's quiet, so I can actually have a live stream. GTL, where are you saying? Isn't Chai Middle Eastern? I think so. Lazy A saying so good. Yeah, I really. My pops actually makes a great cup of tea, and I want to embody that. If I ever have my own shop, I want there to be like one of those little Middle Eastern areas where I just kind of drink tea and avoid customers. Francine, it's 8:40 down here. 8:40 p.m. Madison B is in the chat. Welcome, Madison. Saying blueberries. I like blueberries. Blueberries. Said say blueberries, so I said it. That's 3 times I said it. Olive saying he's wondering why there's no subtitles so he can understand it. I don't know why. I think they'll do subtitles on the replay, but I guess they can't really transpose what I'm saying as I'm saying it, so they don't. Yeah, they don't do the subtitles. XJ David's making a great point here. He's saying, I haven't seen the C10 or the V8 yet. Been working too much to keep up with the videos. How did the swap go? David, I haven't uploaded. I've been just meaning to do a video about the swap and how it's going, and it take me 5 minutes, but it's been a week. It's been more than a month, I think. I still haven't done it. It's going well, David. The V8 is healthy. It's running smooth. The truck is a lot faster. The SM420 is a much better transmission. The truck's running really well. I'm finally getting to where I have to do the front end suspension work that I was trying to get into before the six cylinder broke. I had been just kind of purchasing little things that I needed to change. I got wheel bearings. I ordered a set of shocks that I never got. I was going to throw some Bilsteins on it, but I need to do just the basics, tie rod ends. I really want to go through the steering box, ball joints, some shocks, and use the wheel bearings that I bought. And I think she's going to be really great, man. But she feels good. Ryan M's asking if the shop would have hookah. No, I don't do hookah. GTA Warrior saying, I don't know if it's Middle Eastern, but Iraqis drink a lot of chai. Well, some of them will call the tea chai. That's like how you say like the Arabic kind of Farsi term for tea is chai. Sand Mountain Ballistics saying gun used in a homicide. What happened, Hunter? What's going down, man? Andy saying we've been drinking oolong tea a lot lately. Oolong's a good one. Francine Ramos throwing a puppy in here. There's Kevin saying sub titties. Alliance Memes is in the chat saying, where are them subtitles, buddy? We found you. Your taxes, they need payment fast, or you won't see the light of day. Mexican cartel is also here to finish the job. Damn IRS and the cartels after me again. I'd like to quote a great man when I say bring lawyers, guns, and money. Tones. What am I missing here? Word just means tea. Chai and Japanese. Oh, yeah, Hunter saying, thought we were naming random stuff that cars had under the seat. Francine Ramos is saying, Sui. I think that's what that means. I don't know. Low T. Danny Boyd said, better not name it Low T. Danny Boyd saying, my dad always kept an extra lug wrench under the seat. Cops told 16-year-old me it was a concealed weapon. Geniuses. Rich is saying, I heard if you're going to store a car over the winter, toss a load of dryer sheets around the interior, keeps the mice out. I've heard that too, Rich. I guess it's supposed to ward them off somehow. I would just have a bunch of cats, Chris. I swear by the cats. This one, this bastard of a cat has kept my truck safe for a long time. Francine Ramos is asking if I've ever been to a soccer game in real life. No, Francine, I haven't actually. I know they're pretty exciting. They used to have some around where I used to live in Santa Ana, California, but I never made my way to them. Hunter saying, I can't put my hands in my pockets because I know I'll get in trouble for a concealed weapon. Chitia Warrior saying, Honggualo. Olive saying, Kitty doesn't get out as much in winter, though. Not a bad idea. Yeah. If I ever get out to the sticks, I'll probably have a few barn cats. I complain a bunch about this cat, but he's my buddy, and I really do like cats. Cousin Mike saying, Sand Mountain Ballistics, they won't let me wear pants for the same reason. Dryer sheets seem to work. I know a lot of people who do it. Dryer sheets, I've heard. Peppermint oil. I know there was some other kind of witchery. I can't think of it now, though. But I know the dryer sheets and peppermint oil people swear by. Chris Cadman saying 4 hours. It is 0-1. Wild soccer game. There's still a lot of movement. Hunter saying, all right, I'm calling it a night. Guys, have a great week. Keep your powder dry. Hunter, thanks so much for stopping in, brother. I know it's late for you. I always appreciate you coming through. I hope you have a good week out there. Be safe and check your fluids, brother. Francine Ramos is saying, I had to watch the Barbie movie. I I didn't watch it, Francine. How was it? And Danny Boyd saying getting rid of crabs. I think there's a special. I was saying I got my 1911. Pretty happy with it so far. Just had and just a 4-inch barrel instead listed. The auction listing was a bit mistaken, I guess. Add zero. Add zero. It's a beech tree. It is standing near the beech tree. Francine saying, was that bad? I didn't. I mean, the fact that Ryan Gosling was in it, like, I was like, maybe I should watch this, but then I realized it's a Barbie movie. I was like, I got no business. I don't even have the time to watch all the movies I like. Peachtree is funnier. I mean, whichever one you prefer, Ad Zero. It's the same joke. Nafi Islam is saying goodbye, everyone. I'm going to college. Nafi Islam, I am glad to hear that. Thank you so much for stopping in. Always very glad to have you. And have a great week. Make sure to check your fluids, brother. I hope that translates well. Mopar Man saying a good old wooden Victor mousetrap with a pinch of Tootsie Rolls does wonders. Rich is saying I do dryer sheets, foil in the tailpipes, and over the intake box. My car is stored over the winter. That's crazy, Rich. I mean, everything. The winter here is like non-existent. You know what I mean? So it's kind of. I mean, unless you live somewhere mountainous, obviously, but it's not something I ever really considered. And it's been a long time since I lived anywhere rural. When I lived in Santa Ana, though, it was such a piece of crap city that I would get a lot of rats and mice, but the cat always took care of that. So I never had any issue with anything getting chewed up. Aunt D saying mothballs is another popular one up here. Francine Ramos is saying all I heard was Barbie and hi Barbie. Hunter saying, can't beat a good 1911. Hunter, do you have, I have a really old Lyman, one of the 200 grain semi-wad cutter molds for 45 ACP. I mean, I guess you could load 45 Colt with it too if you really felt wild. But I load those over 5 grains of unique. And then they're just, it's like the happiest ammo there's ever been made, man. Rich is saying I live in the woods. That's healthier, man. I mean, I'm kind of jealous. My goal is to move somewhere with more trees than people. Francine Ramos is saying I have to go now. Bye. Francine, thanks so much for stopping in. I really appreciate it. I hope it wasn't too boring. And have a great week. Check your fluids. Cousin Mike saying, Dan, it scares the ones that still have their balls. Chris Cadman saying, I would rather be a Ken than Ryan. Alpha saying, my uncle uses shelter cats. When the coyotes got a cat, he would get another one. Yeah. Ad Zero saying, rats in Santa Ana, huh? Maybe because the Mexicans are racist against cats. Just one sound theory. There's a dumpster down the alley here that I sleep in. No, there's a dumpster down the alley here, and like I was walking by the other night, I was getting some late night snacks, and I hear something rustling in there, and I think it's a homeless person digging through the trash, and it was like dozens of rats running all around this dumpster and like attacking each other and squeaking. It was like theatrical. I started singing Rat's Eyes by Black Flag. See the world through rat's eyes, rat's eyes. Andy saying, ooh, 1911 talk. I'm almost caught up on CNR Arsenal's 1911 videos and now talking about Unique. Unique is the best, Andy. It's like, I dab a little bit of that stuff behind my ears. Hunter saying, I like wad cutters are. Heck, are pretty good for self defense too. Well, Hunter, I know you're trying to get to sleep, but if you ever watched Paul Harrell's argument on 45 ACP hollow points, because of the velocity that they're actually fired at, they don't really get the expansion they need to take advantage of the hollow point. So he uses ball ammo. So I felt like the lighter wad cutter was a good option there, especially with the cast lead, because you could get some decent expansion. I don't know. Soapbox said no to moth. Bug zippers rip. Lazy Ace saying, despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Got a spoken word it, Allie. Hunter saying, I wish primers would go back down in price. I'd get back into doing it a few nights a week. But man, I'm not paying a fortune for primers. Brian M. saying, I thought the rats in Santa Ana had something to do with the close proximity to Disneyland. It could very well be, Brian. I mean, I think the huge thing is all the construction, too. You know, they put up apartments over every square inch of space. You know what I mean? So it kind of, I don't know. That's how it is around here. They're putting up new apartments down the railroad tracks. They're pulling up the railroad tracks for service. And, you know, all that stirring things up and thundering around, you know, I figure that has a lot to do with it, but I could be wrong. Ad Zero saying, for the record, my mom told me for years that I was allergic to cats. Years. She's racist against cats. Danny Boyd saying, my dad used to go to the dump with his friends and shoot rats back in the 40s. Olive saying, yeah, I'll be okay to keep the loads on the mild side. Old ladyish concerns there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no reason to go wild with it. Hunter's saying unique is pretty good, especially for slower moving cartridges. Exactly. Andy saying I was loading 38 special with 4 grains of unique, super light and cheap. Yeah, Andy, you can go. I mean, you can go up to 5, but that's like the old police loads. Dave Lewis is saying reverse the wad cutter. I've heard of that too, Dave. People would load the old would load 38 special like that back in the day. Just I think it causes them to tumble, doesn't it? So it's kind of more of a potent round. Hunter saying normally when I get load, when I load, I get close to the max. Yeah, I always work my way up, Hunter. If I'm starting something new, I'll start at the lower end and kind of, you know, I like having that much more room. That way, it's like, well, you know, if I wanted to, I could go wild with this, but I don't know. I mean, as long as you're within the tolerances, I guess that's the way it's supposed to be. Mopar Man saying, I like the cartoon I saw. Mom to her little girl said, what do you want for your birthday? Girl says, G.I. Joe. Mom says, no, you don't want a Ken. Mom says, don't you mean Ken? Girl says, no. She fakes it with Ken and comes with Joe. Jesus. All I'm saying, Disneyland generates tremendous food waste and brain waste. You know, I like Disneyland. You know, it's kind of a cool place. I like especially now that I have a son, I like the idea of it. But when I worked at the House of Blues that was in downtown Disney here, the amount of bored adults that come through there is just astonishing to me. It's like you mean to tell me you've never moved past this? I understand appreciating it. I understand, you know, a little bit of nostalgia, but it's like if that is your social activity, walking around Disneyland. Hunter saying, you know, in Vietnam, some troops were putting mercury in bullets just to keep that in mind for hollow points. Oh goodness. Hunter saying 22 birdshot is great for rats. Yeah, it is. Brian saying, I have not been to Disneyland since the 1980s. Yeah, Brian, it's changed a lot. They got rid of a lot of the good stuff. Night, Hunter. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Check your fluids. Andy saying reverse bullets would bypass all Geneva Convention rights for you during the Great War. Gnarly. Yeah, Andy, that see in our arsenal, they've been doing that. They've been doing the small arms of World War I for years, and it's still. I like that it's still interesting, man. Danny Boyd's asking if there's poop in the streets of Disneyland yet. They wouldn't allow it. It's like Singapore, you know. Yeah, Mopar man, you kind of got a point there. You kind of do. It's kind of a weird teenage culture. I don't know how to even address that, but Mopar man, do you know that Neverland Ranch has been reopened for visitors? And it's not like a dark tourism thing. It's genuinely just as a theme park. Chris Cadman saying great grandpa survived World War I. World War One. It's pretty badass, Chris. Those guys were gnarly. Olive, he's not wrong though. You know, I mean, it's kind of a. He's really not wrong, Olive. It may sound kind of defamatory, but it's kind of it's not entirely inaccurate. Um, there's a huge pride culture around Disney, especially downtown Disney where I worked, which isn't, I mean, it's not like I take any issue with that. It's just, it's funny that it's like become its own social dynamic, I guess. I don't know. Tom Brown is in the chat. Howdy, Tom. Alva's saying it's getting nasty in here. I gotta go. Run, Al, run. Tom, I still gotta send you that shifter, man. I'm brainless. I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers, consulting with the rain. Olive saying he's wrong associating LGBT. I mean, it's a generalization, I guess, but I mean, I mean, if he's talking about strange folk that do find their way into Disneyland, I guess it would be. I don't know. I don't know. I get what you're both saying. Don't. But I told you guys, if you guys start another political battle, you guys got to kung fu it out. So, so I'm just saying. Uh, preachers and teachers. But yeah, Neverland Ranch is open. Why people are okay with that, I don't know. I don't know. But Olive, yeah, there's definitely like a correlation between the local Rocky Horror cast and Disneyland, and yeah, it's a huge culture over there, which is cool. They were cool kids. I had to work security for Club Lucky, and if you guys don't know what Club Lucky is, probably Google it. It was that was the day I knew that I don't care. I don't care what anybody does. I'm not judgmental. I kept a completely straight face. Lazy ACNR, now you have me singing Wizard of Oz songs while I'm folding the laundry. Your life would be a dingadary if I only had a brain. Uh, Tom Brown saying, took my 1970 C20 flatbed out for a 230-mile run today, 250 inline 6, SM 465, and 456 gears, 3,000 at 60 miles an hour. Took a while. That's badass, though, Tom. What a great rig. That thing's probably just tough as nails, man. Tough as nails. Yeah, Olive, I hear what you're saying. I'm not. It kind of sucks, but it's almost not. It's probably just more. This is the propaganda edition of After the Tony, so I mean, it's probably just more propaganda that all these people get balled into one group, and you always it's the same thing from any group of people. You always hear the opinion of the most radical, deranged person on the news, no matter what their background is, no matter what they're arguing for or against. It's always the most the most deranged and radical person of said creed or whatever it may be. So, but you know me, I'm all for inclusivity and everything else, but it kind of sucks that nowadays, if you wear a certain color or creed, you get balled in with a lot of folks who are just completely out there. You know what I mean? And that's on every side of the fence. Tom Brownstein has a big Eaton 7 HO70 full floater rear axle. Damn, Tom, there was one of those in the 62 C20 that was at the shop before I had to stop working there. Rich is saying, "Leave me out of it, Ari." um, that's a that's badass, Tom. That's a lifetime rig right there. Yeah, Mopar man, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. There's a lot of just strange. There's a lot of normal folks that turn it into a career too, but I didn't fit in. I mean, actually, that's not true because I worked for the House of Blues. There was a couple older burnouts that I kind of got along with, but you know what I mean? I didn't really have a place there. John Wilburn's in the chat. See, it's been a nice 2-minute visit to the Waffle House. It's late over there, huh, John? How are you, brother? Lazy A-hole Ranch is saying, "You're not wrong. There's political drama going on here with both the fire department and the school board. And the most insane people are speaking out. Yeah, it'd be nice to find kind of a medium there. You get an extreme from both sides, and it's like, well, have we forsaken practicality? I don't know." Poor John Wilburn just pops into the mess, into the fray, into the fray. Olive, I think that's a lot of it's just changed. You know what I mean? It used to just be kind of the way you talk about it, and then now, it's like the difference of being a skinhead in '74 versus being a skinhead in '79. Olive, if that offers any context, I don't know. Chris Cadman saying any fights at the Waffle House? Not yet. But Chris, like I said, if Olive and Mopar Man have another blowout disagreement, they have to settle it with Kung Fu. So this is going to be like a nunchuck driven Mopar fight, and that that will be good film. Olive, I'm just saying that now, you know what I mean, things have been taken to such an extreme as far as boundaries go with what we're supposed to accept and believe, and what is okay to have around children, whatever it may be. The boundaries have been pushed so far that the disassociation isn't, I mean, or the association is almost, it's not as extreme as it would have been in the past. I don't know. Tennis ball fight. No, I mean that. See, that's the beautiful thing about this live stream is we could disagree like all hell, and guess where we are next Sunday? We're all talking to each other because this America. But I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to find a balance there. Chris Cat would say boiled up. Brian, I'm saying a knife fight would be better. Nunchuck fight. Cat, no. I'm gonna put you on camera, Cat. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come on, I'm gonna put you on camera, Cat. XJ David is out for the night. Thanks so much for stopping in, David. I'll try to do a video on the V8 swap on the Apache. I don't know. I can take 10 minutes and do it tomorrow. I don't see why I couldn't, David. I appreciate you always, man. Have a great week out there. Check your fluids. I'm going to grab my cat. Shut up, cat. No one wanted a cat. No one wanted a cat. Ah, gotcha. Oh, yes. 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 Let's not, propaganda cat is here to decide for us. Cat. No. 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 Ah. Propaganda cat, what say you? Yeah? You don't want people to argue? No? You want to protect the children? Okay. That's Hero saying 1979 was the rise of the National Front, which changed what skinhead was, rooted in ska, reggae, and music and clothing, changed to the modern idea of what folks confused a skinhead for. 30 years plus for me. Still on live chat. I'm not missing anything. Eze Motos is saying, Argentina campeón. Welcome, Eze. Araceli, welcome. He's saying happy cat is happy. He's a good cat. He's chubby. He's been like, I give him one scoop of food a day. It's a big scoop. But he's been on this thing to where he just pines. And he'll still have some food left, but he's been pining at the end of the night for another scoop. He wants to see how far he can press me. Messi, Maradona. I'm unenlightened. I'm unenlightened. Araceli sleeping. Yeah, I'm boring. I know. Very boring. Live streams are boring. My videos are also boring. I'm just a horrible YouTuber. Danny Boyd saying, I seen a meme where they stuck a PETA sticker, I'm an asshole, I wear fur, cat's chest, snapped a pic. Yeah, Argentina, welcome. Welcome. He's saying, Papa, can't you see him starve? Yeah, he gets all dramatic, and he's still got food, so it's like he just wants the reserve, like. And he's, you can see he's not a small cat. He's got heft. I was saying, we could fix the boring part with a tennis ball launcher. I'm gonna look for one, Olive. There's bound to be one on offer up. Chris Cadman saying, I shaved my head last month. I wondered why people were looking at me. Tom Brown saying, PETA, people eating tasty animals. Ad Zero saying, when money isn't tight, stop eating when you have to. Money isn't. Money is. Stop eating when you want to. The cat understands this. Metal tennis ball. Cans. Lighter. Whoa. This got wild. Chris Cadman saying, bring back the cat. He gets pissed. He doesn't like being on camera. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Where'd he go? Bastard. Let's see if I can. What do you want, cat? What are you doing? What are you doing? Weird ass cat. Lazy Ace say the cat is enraged. He stays pretty enraged. Buff Del Campo saying, does the cat even understand what the camera does? I feel like he does, Buff, because he really doesn't. He'll know when I'm taking pictures of him. He'll see me kind of, and he'll try to move. You know what I mean? If he looks funny or something. One of the best pictures I could get of him is because he's got his bottom fangs, but the middle teeth are missing because he's so old. So his tongue will hang out sometimes, and it's pretty hilarious. Tom Brown's asking, does the cat ride in the truck with me? Yeah. The noise gets to him sometimes, Tom. But generally, he's a pretty good cruising cat. When I went up north last year, I drove up to Washington State, Tom. He was in the car. I had him out of the car at the rest stop, running around to use the bathroom. And he's still here, so, I mean, I don't know if he's smart or I'm just dumb, one or the other. The cat's pretty cool about traveling. Lazy Ace saying it steals his soul. He knows it. I get some good pictures of him though. He's a funny old cat. He was my roommate's cat when I lived, because I rented the top floor of a house for the better part of 10 years. And I had two downstairs roommates that had adopted him when he was a kitten. He wandered up from the back alley. And when they moved to Europe, they couldn't take him with them. So they're like, do you want the cat? And I was like, sure. You know what I mean? Like, he's already up in my apartment all the time anyway. I don't mind feeding him. So I'm kind of like his forced stepdad of sorts. And it shows. He's a pretty resentful little bastard. Justin Hill saying, nice cat. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate it, man. He's a good cat. He's 10 years, I think he's 10 or 11 years old now. More maybe. Jeez, I mean, like the kid's gonna be 7. Cat's pretty old. Lazy Ace saying, I think he's cute. He's a pretty cute cat. He's just got that tabby look. He's kind of got a short snout too. Kind of a funny look. It looks like a little circus bear or something. What is it? What does it make me press that 3 times? No, Chris. He's not that kind of cat. He's like, if he needs to wake me up, he'll like gallop around or do some annoying shit. Which, I get him back for that. If my sleep gets interrupted, his sleep gets interrupted. Dean's saying Terrence Seymour's legs are specially evolved. Well, his cats are anyway. Yeah, Mr. Greaves is like the king of cats. I don't know if you guys have seen Mr. Greaves, Terrence Seymour's cat, but he's a champion. He's a beautiful little man. Danny Boyd saying, squirt bottle when he wakes you unless the place is on fire. That's another one, Dan, if he's meowing too much. I'm like, what is it, cat? Is there a fire at the old mill? Yeah, look at this bastard. Look at him. Why does it always do that? What are you doing? No, I can't get him twice. Got my little stupid Halloween decoration. That thing's kind of creepy. Jeez. Cat. Go back to the cat. See, look, he doesn't even have to. He hears this thing and he knows. Look at that. That's a spray bottle right there. Yeah, yeah. You ain't messing around, are you? Oh, man, I'm an ass. Oh, man. Cats are clowns and smartasses, Dan said. Yes, they are. Andy's saying, gotta call it. It's 12:15, and I have seven-tooth Model A steering box to diagnose tomorrow morning. Andy, thanks so much for stopping in, brother. Always appreciate you coming through. And be safe out there. I hope it goes well with the work on the cars and everything. Check your fluids, brother. Seriously, poor thing. It's not his fault. He looks like a socialist vegan from Austria. Austrian death machine. At Zero, I was just saying that's my favorite part about the future, is I now identify as a Terminator. Chris, if he ever learns how to use this squirt bottle, I'm screwed. Yeah, I'm a Terminator now, guys. Uzi 9mm, 12 gauge auto loader, phase plasma rifle with 40-watt range, arugula. That scares boy. All of arugula is great. There used to be a restaurant here, this hipster restaurant. They of course the menu got ruined because of all the hipsters and what they would actually buy. But they had this sandwich called the Ricky Bobby, which was like a Thanksgiving sandwich. It had turkey on it, turkey slices. It had this like cranberry stuffing, some kind of aioli. Can't remember if it had taters or not. And it was topped with arugula. That sandwich was like otherworldly. Ad Zero saying, poor Hank, I dig that cat. He's way cooler than Ari lets him be. Hey, just what you see here, pal. At Zero, the guy who does my exhaust over there by the graveyard, Gabriel, he looks just like the dude running the gun store in Terminator. I forget the actor's name. He's been in a lot of movies, but he looks just like him. That's Dan saying, "What's arugula?" It's a little mincy green. You know, it's kind of ain't straight. No, it's like a microgreen. You know, people serve it. I think it's like a lot of Italians eat it. I could be wrong. Olive saying, I'd like to have the arugula on the side. No get between me and turkey dinner stuff. Olive, it sounds weird, but as a sandwich, it kind of just had to. It came together. A Bobbert burger. Oh, at Zero saying it's a full. He did your exhaust too. I didn't even realize that. At Zero saying arugula. It's a gun, I think. All of saying pretty strong taste, can get bitter. Yeah, lazy. It's a leaf, right? It's just you grow it like a. You can grow it like a microgreen or whatever. I'm always eating baby arugula, I think, is what I get. I used to do baby arugula with just a basic vinaigrette, and that was, I don't know. I eat really weird. I'll eat like like obnoxious portions. So I would just get the container of baby arugula and just dress it and just like. Bleh. All I'm saying, baby version does keep it from getting bitter. That's probably why. Because again, on that sandwich, it just it really tied the room together. Cat hair. Any Boyd saying blasphemic vinaigrette. Chris Cadman saying 2 slices of bread. I wish I had some meat. I'm kind of hungry today. I had a couple cheeseburgers and I'm still hungry. I'm horrible. Bottomless pit. Horrible. Holden Man TC is in the chat. How are you, Holden Man? How's it going? How's the work on the Mercedes Benz has been treating you? Ed Zero saying, I seen Dandelion for sale. I couldn't stop laughing. The cashier finally cracked up with me, saying it's stupid, right? Yeah, I guess you can just go pick it off the damn lawn. You got Dandelion tea, chrysanthemum tea. Lazy A saying cat hair ties everything together. Lazy A, one of my buddies, my buddy Ryan, he's got a shop. And it's a small shop, and he's got 2 cats. And he doesn't clean up after him well. So my joke is that his shop is full of cat hair and sadness. Chris Cadman saying hollow leg Ari. I don't think so, Chris. I'm like still like 230 pounds, man. I'm a fatty. Darjeeling with Mrs. Nesbit. This is the driving cat is a T1000. I want to do that. I'm going to like remake that costume that Arnold Schwarzenegger stole from the guy in the first Terminator. And I'm just going to drive around that. I think it was like a Ford Country Squire wagon or something that he stole. He'll start driving around and just dogging people dressed like the Terminator. I'll say my kitty surprisingly doesn't shed much with my clothes. I don't know how she controls the shedding like that. I don't know either, but that's pretty cool. Cat hair and sadness. It's not very becoming. Harmony Leach is in the chat. Welcome, Harmony. Glad to have you in the chat. Older Man TC saying it's nice weather down here in Victoria. I'm loving working at Mercedes-Benz dealership, mate. They treat me good. Bought a brand new Mercedes-Benz AMG. Fancy, man. The Iranian in me approves. Chris Cadman saying had a golden retriever, lots of dog hair, tumbleweeds. Yeah, this cat's pretty. I mean, he's messy. I have to vacuum a lot. Rich is giving the side eyes. Yeah, Rich. You know what I mean? In another world, I would be like, I'd be wearing slippers and probably a tracksuit, and I would probably have some kind of expensive Mercedes. John Goggins out for the night. He's saying, "Have a great night." Thanks so much for stopping in, John. Always great. I can't even speak. Always great to have you in the chat, brother. I hope you have a good week out there. Stay safe. Make sure to check your fluids, man. I'm dying over here. It's the end. Watch. This is like I've been trying to drink tea just to mitigate it, but in a couple days I'm going to be full Tom Waits. At Zero saying gardening in a tracksuit with gold chain, cell phone holster. No, you can't garden at Zero. You don't want to get your hands dirty. All I'm saying, there's a lot of crud going around. Some serious. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I felt it coming on earlier this week, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna have some tea, and I've been kind of sipping tea, and I felt a little bit worse this morning. I was gonna go hang with Hubie, but I didn't. You know, I was like, you know what? I really don't want to get him sick and make his evening unpleasant, and or make his week unpleasant because he's sick and he sounds like Tom Waits. But I mean, it's not. I don't think it's anything serious. I mean, it probably could turn into something lame, you know, upper respiratory, or as long as I can breathe through my nose, I'm pretty happy. Holdeman TC saying is that his mate is looking for our international harvester pickup. If you know anyone that got one, please let me know. I'll keep an eye out, Holdeman. But Holdeman, the guy to ask about stuff like that is Mexican Spec. I don't know if you've ever seen him in the chat. He's got a YouTube channel. If someone could link Mexican Spec, that'd be great. But Mexican Spec has some great cars, and they're from Mexico, so they're a much better price and often better condition. Mopar Man saying plenty of vitamin D and zinc. Something, man. I don't know. I don't eat too bad. I eat a lot of fruit and shit, but I feel like I don't eat enough meat because I'm too lazy to cook. I get a lot of my protein from dairy products. I feel like that might have something to do with it. Obviously, that doesn't help with the whole mucus thing, but I eat all right. I don't really do supplements much. Cats are cool saying, "Are you Mr. Beast?" No, I'm a couple bucks short of being Mr. Beast. Welcome, cats are cool. Glad to have you. Cats are cool. Rich just linked Mexican Specs channel. Holden, man, if you want to check out what Rich GT350R just linked, that is a great channel. If you're looking for a vehicle, classic vehicle, not so classic vehicle, I would check it out. Mopar Man saying lots of sunshine equals vitamin D. I'm hiding from the sun. Cats are cool saying you look like Mr. Beast, not gonna lie. I don't know. His candy bars are pretty good. Yeah, Holdeman TC Rich GT350R just linked his channel. Cats are cool. No, I don't have a. I'm not monetized yet. I can't turn that on. I appreciate that though. Olive saying Willie might spot some. I don't know about in any shape to ship to Australia. Yeah, that may be problematic. Mexican Spec finds some great cars for great prices too. I mean, there's been a couple Blazers, a couple C10s that he's thrown up that I'm just like if I had a couple extra bucks laying around and I didn't already have two cars that I need to build. Cats are cool saying I want to donate. Thank you, Cats are cool. I appreciate it. You don't need to donate. Your presence is donation enough. We appreciate you. Let me grab my cat for you though. I gotta get him back on the camera. 2 seconds. Ah! Don't you dare hide. You don't get to hide from me. How dare you? How fucking dare you? Tried to hide from me. He's like, no, he knows what's going down. Here you go, cats are cool. Look at him. He's like, nah. He looks all Pet Cemetery when he does the eyes like that. Cats are cool, Santa. What's up, my guy? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The channel is mostly just me and my old truck. I daily drive an old truck, and anything interesting I see along the way. But it might be a little bit boring, but I appreciate you, man. If you want to sub, I appreciate it. Cat. Can you buy the cat? You take the cat. You'd have to actually talk to Hubie's Garage. You'd have to actually talk to Hubie's Garage. It's another YouTube channel because this is technically his cat. Go, be free. Be free, cat. Holden Man TC saying I'm a big subscriber to your YouTube channel, mate. Yeah, man, you've been subscribed for a long time. I appreciate you, Holden Man. It's always great when you're in the chat. Buff Del Campo saying Junk Car Willie is at the Arkansas Land Speed competition. He's posting videos of cars. It's good stuff. Willie's always posting some great stuff. He finds gems out there. Kwang Dung is in the chat. Kwang Dung is in the chat. I can't translate that. Cats are cool saying cute cat. Thank you. Thank you so much. His name's Hank. He's a good cat. Olive saying, anyone know Vietnamese? No. No. But welcome just the same, Kwang. Cats are cool saying, Ari, I'm going to eat some Oreos. Nice. Nice. I actually have some double stuff Oreos. I'm going to have a couple later on. It's a good call. Cats are cool. Yeah, double stuff. Crab Rangoons. Jefferson Costa de Oliveira is in the chat saying, Oi! Welcome, Jefferson. Glad to have you in the chat. Buff Campo saying, Kwang Dung translation, what can you do to make it heal? What can you do to make it heal? What can you do to make it heal? What can you do for it? What, my face? They just came out with a new Pet Cemetery movie. It's Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. And I don't want to give away too much of the movie in case you guys are into that, but this lady gets attacked by a demon kind of dog, and she shows up to a meeting and her face is all messed up. And I was watching this movie with my lady, and she walks up to the table, the lady in the movie. She walks up to the table and like, oh my God, what happened to you? And I popped myself in, and I was like, a drone ran into my face. And it made my lady laugh really hard. So I was pretty happy about that. Tom Brown's just saying, just watched a Project Farm video on degreasers. Zep, OxyClean, and Super Clean were the top three. Super Clean for straight grease, Oxy for oily cloth, and Zep for concrete. Good video. That makes sense, Tom. The Super Clean's pretty rad. They actually send free product to a lot of the small time YouTubers, and I commend them for that because I don't know. I'm not one to take products unless they're useful, and it's like as crusty and dirty as my truck is and everything else. Like I need degreasers, so that's cool of them. It makes sense about the OxyClean though, and the Zep too. The Zep's got muriatic acid in it, I think. So that would make sense that it's a better concrete cleaner. Holden Man TC saying, bye, I'm out for the afternoon. Going to look at Marketplace for pickup trucks. Holden Man, thanks so much for stopping in. I'm glad that the job is going well. I hope everything is good for you this week, and check your fluids, brother. But yeah, Super Clean's pretty cool. They'll help you out. Which reminds me, at Zero, do you want some Super Clean? Fadil Arapin is in the chat saying, hi. Welcome, Fadil. Dean Stevenson saying, a great bald-headed sociologist, Tony Campolo, was asked if he could pray for a guy's sick son. He thought to himself, if I could heal people, I wouldn't look like this. Mopar Man saying, I was wondering why channels were pimping it out. Yeah, Mopar Man, they sent me a couple boxes of stuff. I I don't, like I said, I'm not really into the whole trying to sell anybody anything, but it's like they're not really, I mean, I don't know, they help everybody out, and it's not one of those products that's like unobtainable or anything like that. So I was kind of cool about it. And it does work pretty well. Unless you're cousin Mike and you're like trying to get the Ford off of something, nothing will remove the Ford. I think you have to actually perform an exorcism on the car to remove Ford crud. As you were saying, of course I want some super clean. It works. Yeah, it does. It works well. And it's not. I got really tired of the gunk degreaser just because it's for as caustic as it is, I don't feel like it works that well, whether you're using the aerosol or the squirt bottle. Um, Easy off the oven cleaner, I still feel like is probably the strongest, but it's kind of harsh and caustic on certain plastics and obviously aluminum. And the super clean's kind of a balance there. It's somewhere in between the both, and it really does remove grease well. So it's like Mopar Man saying LA's totally awesome is just as good or better and biodegradable at Dollar General. That I think I have. I think I have some of that. I got that Mopar man. I got that. But they're not really sending me that in the mail for free, Mopar man. As you were saying, have to swap out stupid Saginaw pump, so it'll be welcome. Oh yeah. Hexel saying, "Hi, remember me? I was the one that got stabbed with a pencil. I remember. I'm very sorry you got stabbed with a pencil. Like Dean said, I hope you recover." Nuggets 12 saying, "Please read my name. Is it Nuggets 12 or is it Nuggets 1 2? Nuggets 12. Please read my name. Welcome. How are you?" All saying, "Oh, is that recent? Pencils seem rare these days." I'm going to give Hexel flashbacks. All I'm saying, kids will be like, "What's a pencil?" Tom Brown saying, "The Totally Awesome was tested also, but only came in about 5th or 6th. Yeah, the Super Clean's good stuff, and it's not like it's expensive. I think it costs the same, if not less, as Purple Power. And Purple Power is another one that's kind of potentially caustic unless you rinse it well. Nuggets 12. I'm from California, Southern California. Where are you from? Welcome, just the same. It feels weird. I got a big dot on my arm from it. Isn't that weird how the carbon will kind of stay like that, Hexel? Again, I'm sorry about the pencil incident. I guess there are worse things to get stabbed by. Ad Zero saying wear gloves. Yeah. The worst experience I've had with any of those degreasers was with the Easy Off. I was using it to remove an anodized coating off of a aluminum bumper, and it kept getting through my gloves and got onto my hands pretty significantly, and it felt like my fingernails were going to fall off. It was pretty bad. First Responder Garage is in the chat. Howdy, Damien. It's a late night for you, brother. I'm sorry. It's late. You're in my Waffle House, man. Welcome. Dean saying, "I got stabbed in a pencil in 1977 when I was 7 by my classmate, Stephen Miller. It was especially vicious." Did you get him back, Dean? Rich is saying, "I used WD-40 degreaser after the dealer messed up my oil change. Worked well and it's biodegradable." I've never tried that one, Rich. Hey, we got the train coming. See, I looked again, Buff. First Responder Garage is saying it's 12:41 a.m. Jeez, man, it's pretty late. It's 9:41 here, so it's not too bad, not too good. All I'm saying, I know LA's made very acceptable window cleaner and some bathroom cleaner product the other hand, I think. Tom Brown saying I still have the carbon mark from where I got a pencil tip broken off of my arm in 1978. Yeah, see, it leaves a weird mark. I guess it's like a tattoo, huh? Hexel saying I like trains. Woo. This one is a BNSF train. I'm not sure on the number, but it's pretty light right now. It's probably going to Mexico to pick some stuff up. Dave Lewis has got a great point. He says steam is the best degreaser. Dave, I agree with you. When I lived in Santa Ana, there was a tub sink that was attached to the laundry room, and it had an adapter to where I could just hook up a hot water line, and I got the best results with just hot water and degreaser, of course. But the steam and the heat really, really does make a difference. Danny Boyd saying, I thought you farted already. No, Dan, you wouldn't hear it if I farted. My farts are like sad whispers. Spencer's drink reviews and chugs. How you doing, Spencer? That game last night was full BS. First responder garage is saying, building a running shed for the horses. I just want to get it done so my mind won't rest till it is. I feel you there, man. It's hard to get rid of that energy. You're like, I need to get this done. I want to get this done. You're saying you're waiting for 6 a.m. for the sun. Not too much longer, man. Not too much longer at all. You're not working right now, are you? I know you work some odd hours. Buff Del Campo was saying, I had a classmate that sat behind me. He used to sharpen his pencils and stick them in my back and break off the tips. Jeez, Buff. Jeez. Hexel saying, I feel like everyone is trying to copy. They're trying to relate to you, Hexel. They feel your pencil pain. Ticonderoga attack, Rich is saying. Tom Brown saying, have you seen dry ice degreasing? Pretty cool. Tom, I've done not degreasing, but removing Dynamat with dry ice. I've done it with liquid nitrogen too, Tom. It worked really well. They I used dry ice, a scraper, and a needle scaler on an air hammer, and it worked really well. Hexel saying because they're saying the exact same things as me. Yeah, no, they're just trying to relate to you there. All of a sudden, I got stabbed in the head with a knife as a kid. Hard head, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to all of it, but I'm just picturing Children of the Corn. Buff saying I had no idea that so many people had pencil injuries. I never. Oh, we need a moment of silence for the pencil injuries, Hexel is saying. Okay. All right. First responder garage saying I'm at home. I have a Kelly day, so I have 5 days off from the department. Nice, man. Doesn't that mean you have to? I mean, you have to work as many days as you're off, though, right? So it's like 5 days on, 5 days off. First responder saying I got stabbed through the hand. Hopefully, not someone you were dealing with, like at work. Dean saying, my dad is a military chump. He said, if you'd like me to, I'll talk to the principal. I will. But, Dean, you got to stop pissing people off. You're too smart for him, Dean. You're thinking circles around him. They weren't liking it. Hexel, yeah, I mean, potentially. It kind of a morbid thought, but yeah, if it stuff pierces your skull, some people live through that kind of stuff. Chris Cadman saying, all right, white wall tires on a gasser. You got to talk to Hubie. He's got the pie crusts. assault pencil. It'll be time for more tea soon. First responder garage is saying 24 on, 48 off. I have annual or Kelly Day because it's basically between my 48 hours off. That's really not a bad schedule. It's kind of a tough line of work to get out here because we're a little stringent on the requirements. I don't know if it's the same there. I guess it's pretty basic. You just need to be either in or have gone through EMT school. You have to do the Biddle test. Pretty basic, I guess, but doesn't seem like bad work. All of saying had zero saying pencils are now racist. Apparently, someone used a pencil to count attendance at a Klan meeting. Freaking Democrats ruin everything. Dave Lewis is saying, I do kind of remember gassers with white walls. I guess I never paid that much attention. I think there's a few pictures Hubie has of his historic gasser with some white walls on there. That's a pretty sweet car, that 55. He's going to be racing it soon at that In-N-Out anniversary we're having down here. Some kind of another wedding going on over there. They're getting wild. As long as they're not anywhere near that 60 Chevy, they're good. Buffalo Compost saying, I don't like white walls on anything. I don't know. Buff, it depends. If you got some chrome wheels or something, some good dog dishes, I like them on lowered cars. I feel like that's my stipulation, is if the vehicle's lowered and it's got white walls. Otherwise, they look way too cream puff. First responder garage is saying for the country, they require EMT, AEMT, firefighter 1 and 2 with 480 hours hands-on. Oh, for the county, sorry. It's something I kind of like, I feel like my weird scattered work experience and the odd insomnia thing kind of makes me qualified, but I don't know. I would probably get myself killed. Hex was freezing. It's so cold in my house. That's no good. Pewat Killer YouTube is I can't read that. I can't read the Cyrillic. I'm sorry. That's not even Cyrillic. That's different. Not going back. Speaking of why, not going back. Olive, you should have just faked it. Just carried around a Bible with you. Tom Brown saying we would get the .05 click pencil, sharpen them by rubbing them on a piece of paper, and write our homework super tiny on the blue lines of the page. Teacher didn't care for that much. Get him. I was too lazy to mess with him like that. First responder garage is saying it's different. You see some stuff. I have a strong stomach and mind. Yeah. I do all right, man. It's one of those things, as long as I have an immediate task or some kind of solution as to what I'm supposed to be doing, even if it's just, holding something, I'm able to get through some pretty weird situations. Cats are cool saying, hey, Mr. Beast. Olive, I was trying to make a conversion camp joke, but I was kind of just reaching for the stars. I'm gonna make sure no one's messing with my truck. I get paranoia. I know no one cares about the truck but me. Yeah, cat. No. Good, good. Everyone's far away from my truck. As they should be. As they should be. Ian saying, yeah, kids are cool. I remember some stuff. I think taught my kids, and this is good, and Miss is good. Yeah, you got to try your best. I don't know. I never had. I don't know. I was never one of those kids. Hexel saying, "What if a spammer joins the live?" Sometimes that'll happen, Hexel. We've got the moderators. They'll time people out, or delete, block people from the channel basically if they're too bad. Tom Brown's asking if I'm at work. Do I work night? No, I'm not at work, Tom. I'm just. This is just where I come to stream and everything, and just kind of chill out. I've worked a lot of night shifts though, Tom. A lot of third shift. A lot of third shift BS. Evangelista Alvarez is saying, Jesus loves you. Save your soul. Jesus is the way. Jesus, Son of God. Hey, you know what? That's not, it's not so bad. See, Olive? You just have to accept Christ. I have a son, Hexel, one son. He's 6 years old. All of a sudden, they start saying all bets are off with that kind, and I think it's labeled that kind. I don't know. I mean, all of it was just such a point of shame for us. It was like, no, like, dude, no, what? No, no, you know what I mean? But I don't know. First responder garage is saying, one time in a car fire, we're putting out the overspray tore the skin off the driver's midsection down to the bone on his skull. You'd be surprised how bright white his skull is. Yeah, it's creepy. It's creepy with the bones. Buff is speaking in the Cyrillic. Buff Duncompo is the coolest dude ever. Yeah, that sucks, first responder. I mean, they kind of. I mean, I guess you just kind of got to be able to brush it off and get the work done. But I mean, like I said, I commend you guys. That's not. There's not a lot of people who are up in the middle of the night ready to help other folks. Evangelista Alvarez is saying God is love because they reject. No one's rejecting God's love, Evangelista. Wolf Del Campo saying he asked if we could understand him. I told him mostly English speakers here. Yeah, we try to learn as best we can. Evangelista Alvarez, thank you so much. I think my soul is saved. I think it is. I don't know. But we are all sinners, and we all fall short of the grace of God. Evangelista Alvarez is saying thanks. Hey, thank you for stopping in. We appreciate different people, different opinions. It's definitely not a negative message. Well, have a good night, Evangelista. Thanks so much for stopping in. Be safe out there. Tom Brown saying, when I would heat water for oil frac sites, it was not uncommon to stay awake and work for a 54-hour shift. Longest I ever did was 82 hours straight. Never again. Was sick for almost a week afterwards. Yeah, that'll get you, Tom. That'll get you. I mean, I worked mostly just overnight security, unloading trailers. and stuff like that. As a PM tech, I worked a couple shifts, but yeah, nothing that bad. I mean, maybe peak season for UPS. I don't know. Allie DeBernia is in the chat saying, "Do not reject the rod of divinity." Chris Cadden rode his motorcycle today. Nice, man. Which one? Fadil Arapin's in the chat saying hi again. Welcome. First responder garage saying, Dan, yes, 115 in a Mustang got airborne into a tree. The engine submarined. Driver knocked out. Young girl passenger burned alive. Her skin shrunk and it was pushed to the sides of her mouth. That's pretty horrific, man. I'm sorry you had to see that, brother. But just the same, I'm incredibly grateful for people like you who are there to help. All of that's my brother, Allie. Hexel saying, dude, you've been alive all day. I've been alive for a couple hours, but not all day. Oh, the little Grom, Chris? That's rad. Just buzzing around. The food nerd is in the chat. Howdy, Mom. I got Mom and the brother in here. It's a family live stream. I actually did mean to go live earlier this morning, but I woke up pissy. I was a grumpy bastard this morning. So I waited until later. Mom's saying I've been here. How's the kitchen going, Mom? Did you ever upload the videos? I bet you didn't. My mom's been tearing down her kitchen, and I think that the demolition of the kitchen would be great video content, but I think she's being too picky. She said that she sounds weird in the video, and I tried to tell her that she's sounded weird since the 60s. Buff Del Campo's asking, Hexel, where are you that it's so cold? At Zero saying, hi, Mooney's mom. Alaska. Do they know that it's the 4th of July up in Alaska? Do they light up some propane for their fireworks? Oh, man. Where were you? Home renovation with auto-tune could be a new frontier in home improvement content. Tika Zaralam Saya. Atika Zaralam Saya. I think I said it right. I think I did. Welcome. Danny Woodsey. Mom's singing my song. Is that whale blubber their 4th of July barbecue? Greetings from Nibiru. Allie, don't do it. You're going to trigger Mom. Good old family. I got a great family. I love them. Yeah, it was when I was a kid, I think it was on one of the Grand Theft Autos or something. Someone asked the question, do they know that it's the 4th of July in Alaska? And it was right around that same time. I forget, was it Alan Jackson who did the Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning? That song. And I turned it into Do they know that it's the 4th of July up in Alaska? Do they light up some propane for their fireworks? Yeah. I was an ass as a child, just the same. Mom saying, looks like I'm going to need that drone. First responder garage is laughing. Yeah, I'm an ass, man. Where were you? Yeah. 4th of July in Alaska. Yeah. I had a couple other ones. I had a song called Cats in the Urinal that was really, actually, probably the best piece of anything I've ever written. It was about a guy who, he gets a cat, but he instantly realizes he doesn't like cat ownership, so he tries to throw the cat away. But the cat just kind of comes back because can't throw a cat in the trash. So he buries the cat, and the cat haunts him. And throughout his day, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Buff Campo's the drone operator. Buff, have you seen that thing, the Slinger? The little, it's like a turret that uses infrared technology and infrared sighting, and it uses incendiary rounds, fragmentation incendiary rounds, to just 4 small drones. Hexel has a crush. Well, that's kind of cool. I mean, it's part of life, right? Tom Brown saying on the 4th, we used to take those punching balloons, fill them with oxyacetylene mix, then nail 5 of them to a 20-foot board, a rag for a wick, and then run 8-foot fireball each. That sounds badass, dude. I've done that little oxyacetylene balloons and a couple bottles and stuff, but never a big galaxy, or never a bigger balloon like that. 672 Galaxies in the chat saying, "What's up, boys? Burning the midnight oil." Yeah, it's late, brother. It's like a Waffle House in here. How are you, man? Chris Cadman saying, "Telltale cat." Yeah, see, that's yeah, pretty much. Hexel saying it's a boy named Alexander. Hexel, that's cool. I hope he's a kind young man. I hope he's dignified, manneredly. Remember, a man's got to have manners. A young man's got to have manners. Mom's saying zombie cats eating mice brain. Zombie. There's this episode of Miami Vice where this dude rolls out of a coffin and the guy kind of breaks the 4th wall. Zombie. Forget which one it was. Rich is saying, I built an oxyacetylene cannon. What a blast. I bet, man. You can have so much fun with those things. It's really almost the most useful tool in the shop. You can do so much with the oxyacetylene. Cat Detective. Drone Justice remix to this song, Ali and Ari. I'm still stoked. Mike N came up with a great one. He was talking about the Mothers of Invention albums. It's like weasels ripped my flesh, drones ripped my flesh. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was watching it. Olive was the Tubi app. Olive, they got a ton of great spaghetti westerns on there, and they're all actually in Italian with English subtitles, widescreen, proper. Rich GT350R saying, a lot of shit I have to tell the neighbors when I'm going to fire it off. Yeah, they're going to think they're like under attack. Yeah, drones rip my flesh. Yeah, at Zero, you don't got to time out Hexel. She's just sharing. It's all right, man. I know it's a little bit off subject, but try to be accepting of different folks, younger folks too. At Zero, I'm like automotive Fred Rogers now. Where were you when the world stopped turning? Oh, it's going to be stuck in my head all night now. Damn it. Just like that. Hexel said, I feel like my dog just crapped in my house. You and Chris Cadman, Hexel. Chris Cadman's dog is gassy. Gassy, gassy, gassy. Had Zero saying weird. Yeah, you're telling me, man. But you know what it is at Zero is because my shorts are in the shorts feed, it now displays when your channel is live. So if people are skimming through the shorts feed and they run into one of my shorts, it shows the channel is live, so they'll often click on. So we've been getting a lot of new folks, which it's kind of hit or miss, but you know, I try to be accepting and polite to all. Tom Brown saying, to be honest, are frosted flakes with a side of beer wrong as a midnight No, that's pretty good, Tom. Danny Boyd saying I might be able to outfart the dog. At Zero saying it's what's bugging, weird, and it's funny, it's boring and annoying. Beer is just not for breakfast anymore. Pop Tarts, where a man belongs. When you're proud that your son is a furry, Chevy Volt. The car that says, I don't mind wearing this scarf while I get my rosewater latte and dark chocolate vegan biscotti, Chevy Volt. Chevy Volt. All I'm saying, people think I drink more than I do because there's almost always a beer around. Never mind if it's been the same one for 3 hours. That's kind of racist of them too, Olive, thinking that you're drunk because you're Irish. Rich saying 10 seconds just to test it. Shut up. Keep. Oh yeah. No, I mean it can't hurt. I appreciate what you're doing at Zero, just the same. But you know, beer for breakfast. Chris Cadman saying, let's see a drunk Ari. No way, Chris. I'm lippy, man. That's the last thing anybody needs. No way. Chevy Volt. Oh, man. You know, I mean, Hexel, it might be, sounds kind of like a catchy song. The car that says, I got this award for participation and I'm proud of that fact, Chevy Volt. The car that says, Mom, who ate the last toaster strudel? Chevy Volt. All of you defending the Chevy Volt is proving my point. No, I'm kidding. It's just one of those things. I like the idea of like the reverse car commercial, the inverse Marlboro Man. You know what I mean? That's true. At Zero and I have been moderating for Uncle Tony's Garage for like, 5 years ish. Jeez. That's funny. Time flies. I was just talking to Bryce DeCastro earlier too. I Spider Garage. And I realized I've been following his channel for years too. Not super closely. It's not like I'm religiously watching every video, but when I catch one, I catch one. I'm always trying to show support. He's a great dude. He and his daughter do great work. Um, but it's been years talking to some of you folks, and that's pretty rad to me. It's a long time. It's a long ass time, guys. Buff is asking if I was moderating for UTG when I was on his when Buff Del Campo was on UTG's lives. Yeah, I for sure was, Buff. I'd pop in. I think I was a little bit busier back then, so I don't know if I would get the full stream all the time, but yeah, I definitely was. I think John Wilburn and Fubar were the first two moderators, and I was just kind of a fixture. And I remember one day asking if I could be a moderator, and then Kathy made me a moderator. So that was back during that I think I mean the first I think the YouTube live stream was kind of newer, so you had a lot of spammers and a lot of people just saying inappropriate crap. So I had a lot to do actually. Nowadays I just sit and interject BS, but back then I actually had to really moderate. So. That's true. Saying Chris Cadman gets timed out by me every now and then, and he makes me laugh from time to time. He's even Canadian. He's still here and unharmed. Buff Del Campo saying, I remember John Wilburn well. Sometimes he was there live with us. Yeah, he'd come down. I think he drove all the way from Virginia to pop into some of those live streams, which was cool. Um, yeah, John's an interesting dude. I was talking with him, I think, on Buck Does It's live last night. We were talking about rent prices, and he was telling me he could rent me a house on a lot with a separate 2-car garage for about twice what I pay for my storage unit out here. Food Nerd saying I'm going to sleep now because I'm going to Memphis in the morning. I'll be walking in Memphis. Mom, you got to go to Automatic Slims. Nuggets 12 saying I'm Hungarian. Nice. Nuggets 12, I can't read that one. Tom Brown saying, okay, I'm out. Have to haul propane in the morning. Later, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping in, Tom. Always appreciate you, brother. I'll try to, screw my brain out, screw my head on, and get you that damn shifter this week. Bless my heart, man. Bless my heart. But I'll send that your way, brother. Always glad to have you in the chat. Make sure to check your fluids, man. Puskas is Hungarian. Hexel saying my dog is so freaking cute. What kind of dog, Hexel? Goulash. But yeah, good night, Mom. I'll talk to you before too long, I hope. Be safe out there. Don't kill any lizard people. Check your fluids. Nuggets 12. I'm not sure what that one says. You could be cursing my whole soul and I wouldn't know. French. Well, right on, guys. I'll probably go ahead and call it for the night. We're right here at about 2 hours and 45 minutes, which I feel like is a pretty decent live stream. I appreciate everybody coming through. It was a lot of fun talking tonight. I'm sorry I sound all nasally. Thanks for putting up with it. And Ali DeBernia is saying, when pimp turns to gimp, Chevy Volt. Chevy Volt. Nuggets 12. I'm from California, U.S. I'm Cat. California, U.S. And it's, most of the people here are from the U.S. I don't know much about Hungary at all. I wish I had some kind of, some cultural attribution or something, music at the very least. But Nuggets 12 saying California is nice. Thank you. Thank you. It's a little bit crowded, but the state is really beautiful. There's a lot to see, a lot to be had. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for coming through. It, like I said, it's always fun yapping on a Sunday night, especially on this propaganda edition of After the Tony. Again, I'm going to try to do another live stream this week. I think I got one in this week, but it was very short. I had a couple things to do that day, but I'll try to get another live stream in. Excuse me. I got a couple videos to get out, and I'll be in touch. Thanks always, guys. And please, above all, make sure to check your fluids. Very seriously. No, seriously. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you always. Have a good week. Positivity. Chevy Volt. Chevy Volt.